All right, it's Toby from Heavyweight MMA here today with MMA Fighter Colby Thicknesse, one of Ock's teammates, fighting out of freestyle MMA, Windang, New South Wales, Windang, capital of Australia, pretty much. On May 1st, UFC has Fight Night, Marlon Vera versus Rob Font. What do you think about this one, bro?
I think it's a banger in the 135 division. I think there's a few different sort of situations and scenarios of how it can sort of play out. And yeah, I think it's going to be I'm happy it is 5 rounds. I think it's going to be like a 5 round fucking treat for everybody watching, I think.
And these guys have got quite a few performance bonuses and that, and they both come to fight every time, right? So it's going to be like they both like to want to be the hammer, right? So they're both going to walk in and just clash heads, I reckon. It's going to be interesting, eh?
Oh, exactly right. Like the stylistic matchup, I guess we can assume that Font's going to try and keep the initiative and keep it on the feet. Vera might try and look for the takedown, but I wouldn't be surprised if these two boys just sort of stay on their feet for the whole 25 minutes.
Yeah, looking at their stats, man, same height. Cheeto's a little bit younger. He's 5 years younger at 29 years versus 34. That could pay a little bit of a difference as well. You never know.
He looks 29. I thought he was older, eh?
He's had a hard life, bro. Reach for Font is slightly longer at 182 versus 179, but pretty much, yeah, similar height, similar reach. Even the records are similar: 24 fights for Font, 26 fights for Vera. For these guys, Font has 8 KOs and 7 decisions. They're sort of the main results for him. He's got a couple of subs in there, whereas Cheeto's got 7 KOs and 8 subs and only a couple of decisions. So, like you said, he's got that option of going for the ground. He's a BJJ black belt versus Font, who's a BJJ brown belt. Not that it really matters the color of the belt, and that depends whether they've been training gi, etc. But you got to think they're probably not too dissimilar in their skill set, although the sub seems to be a more common option for Cheeto.
Yeah, exactly right. I think Rob is going to try to take the sort of front foot and like dictate the fight behind his jab, just hold the center. Cheeto likes his real sort of snappy front kicks. So I think it's just going to sort of depend at what range it's fought at. If Cheeto can keep it at more of like a kicking range, I think he'll have some success. But if Rob can sort of get behind his jab early and sort of build from there, land the jab, start the fakes, and sort of build everything off his jab, I think we could see it be like pretty much like I guess maybe a repeat of a sort of Garbrandt fight sort of thing where it just really dictated the whole fight with the straight punches. I guess Vera can mix it up a little bit more than Garbrandt can though, but I think it's going to be interesting to see how Cheeto will adapt if he can't get around that jab initially.
Yeah, man. Font's got that great boxing acumen, man. Like long arms, use that jab so well, sets everything up on the jab. But he does do takedowns and that as well. But he's basically staying in that boxing game. And Vera likes to be standing as well, right? Like he likes to stand and punch, a bit of a zombie-like sort of movement just comes in. But like you said, he's a bit more all-rounder, right? He likes to throw in the kicks. He likes to work the calf kicks and also the up kick, obviously having KO'd Edgar with a nice up kick. Yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see how the styles work out together. You know, I personally, I reckon when I look at Font, I think he's a bit slicker and I think he's got a bit of a speed edge. Yep. What do you think?
I actually just was checking then who's a favorite. So yeah, Rob's $1.65 and Marlon's $2.20. I think that's sort of reflective. Obviously, they got the same past opponent with Aldo, but I think they both had different, not different approaches, but they both tried different things on Aldo, but they weren't able to capitalize on what Aldo does to sort of make it successful for them and get the W against him. I think Vera, besides that, I thought he won that Yadong fight personally. Then obviously he got through O'Malley. His last 2 fights, his Edgar fight was fairly impressive. But I think Font's, like you said, he's just a little bit more technical. He's a bit slicker. He's not as hittable as some of the past guys. Vera likes to fight sort of thing. So I think that's going to make it hard for Cheeto.
Yeah, with Vera, I mean, Cheeto took out O'Malley and he kind of got a bit of hype behind him, right? He got on the Joe Rogan show. He's been doing lots of interviews and stuff. And you see he's a cool personality, man. I like him. I'd like to see him win. He's kind of a cool cat, But yeah, this is a pretty tough one for him. I'm looking forward to it though. I think there's a good chance of a fight of the night sort of performance. You know how you pick them sometimes, eh?
Yeah, I think, going through the card sort of thing. Oh, I guess Elkins is on it, so you never can count him out for something. But I'm thinking like this is one of the fight cards where the main event is sort of gonna steal the show. There's a lot of hype because so we got Marlon at 9 and Fonts at 6. So realistically, with that title picture up in there, one of these guys could be fighting someone like they get a good win. They could fight Yarn or one of these top guys next. So if they go out and perform, it could definitely be a big stepping stone for either one of them.
Yeah, Rob was saying it's not that good for him because he's higher up in the rankings, right?
Yeah.
But it makes sense for him to fight anyway. It's a good matchup.
Yeah, but then again,
go on.
I was going to say, even though he's fighting down in the rankings, that division has a lot of sort of inactivity and a lot of what ifs going in and out at the moment. So if he goes out, makes a statement, and like even if Cheetah goes out and starts just fighting, instantly sort of leapfrogs them up the rankings sort of thing. And you got guys like who knows what Dillashaw's doing, what Yarn's doing. I don't think Sandhagen's there. So there's a lot of sort of good opportunities that could come from either guy if they sort of get that statement win here.
Yeah, man. So what's your final pick, man? What are we betting the house on this time?
I could see if I think Cheeto needs to finish him, and I don't think it happens. So I think I'm going to go Font by unanimous decision. I think he's just going to be too much of a feat. He's just going to establish his range. He's real slick. He's real technical. I think Cheetah's going to have a lot of problems with the straight punches. I think maybe the first two rounds will be competitive, but I think then Rob's going to take over once he gets his reads and sort of you get like a decision win, maybe like I'm thinking even like 4-1 round sort of thing. He might drop the first, but I think once he gets his time and distance and everything, I think he's going to take over and control the fight.
Yeah, man. It's when the only other thing which you haven't really talked about is the conditioning edge, man. I think although Font has the speed edge, I think Vera may have a little bit of a conditioning edge. He just seems to be zombie-like, like he just keeps coming, keeps coming pretty strong. But in saying that, I still feel like that skill edge in the stand-up for Font, the speed and the skill edge just looks like when you watch them separately anyway, it looks like a little bit of a different level. But then that can be cancelled out if Cheeto mixes it up too, right? But I think for now, I'll be following your lead and saying Font on points, eh? But I kind of want Cheeto to win. He's kind of cool, and I'd like to see him mix it up and take it, eh?
Yeah, Cheeto is definitely a good character and personality, and yeah, I'm a fan of Cheeto. So I'm hoping if I'm rooting for someone, I'm hoping Cheeto wins. But betting, I'd have to bet on Font.
Yeah, that's it. Bet the house.